Bani, let me come to you. You promised us no new taxes. You promised to scrap what you call nuisance taxes, e-levy, emissions tax, betting tax, which you have done. However, out there, the concern is to a large extent optional. Betting tax, optional. But 1 cedi on petroleum products, we have no option. So how did we get here?
Thank you very much, and let me say good morning to our viewers. And to also say that I'm happy in the excitement that Akosia is having about this. But one akofa by. One akofa by. You understand? How have we reached? And how come we've gotten to this level? The path we've chosen for ourselves, is it sustainable? If we want to have reliable, sustainable power, what do we do? These are the questions that all of us as a country needed to find answers to. We have a situation where we have a debt of 3.7 billion cedis in the energy sector. We have 68 billion cedis owed by ECG alone. In the last budget, the government was magnanimous enough to provide 28 billion in the budget, which, if you look at government's budget historically, is the highest ever, apart from votes to Ministry of Education. Aside this, government have taken steps in so many ways to minimize the systemic inefficiencies of the power sector. Now, the issue is, how do we resolve the issue of recurring debt? And what you can do to make the energy sector sustainable. It's not fanfare about it. I will every day prefer a government that is candid, that is transparent, that is accountable, to a government that will lie. So we've come to Ghanaians and say, so at this point in time, these are the difficulties we are having. These are the challenges facing the energy sector. Would we want to slam back into the period of doomsaw or doomsaysie? No. So how do we do, what do we do in order to avoid that? I said, well, if every Ghanaian will be willing enough to give 1 cedi on a liter of fuel, we will be able to accrue so much, almost 57 billion, to be able to take care of the difficulties we have, the challenges we have in meeting the demands of the energy sector. I think it's a very, very good step. The issue is, we've come far to a time when it has become necessary. In this period when all of us are experiencing some joy from the fact that fuel, the price of fuel has slumped from 16 to even under 12 cedis. This is a time when we're asking Ghanaians to make sacrifices of a cedi to be able to keep the power on. If we don't, and we say, well, let's continue in the merrymaking, let's continue enjoying the benefit of the prudent economic measures that have ensured that the cost of fuel has come down, and we don't behave like the ant to prepare for tomorrow, but want to be like the grasshopper, what will happen is that in the next few days or weeks, in the midst of our enjoyment, we'll be hit by the reality of doomsaw. So this is a government who says that in this period, when things are good, when we are making savings, it is better for us to store so that we can meet the demands of tomorrow. I think the government is being very intelligent in the way to manage the difficulties we have, the challenges we have.
Not everyone will agree with you, because there are concerns that we're enjoying the gains made, which is good. But if you take ESLA, for instance, last year, 2024, it accrued almost around 9 billion cedis.
Was it enough to take care How much are we
So,
making?
so if you marry that to the promise of not introducing taxes for revenue generation, it is expected that there will be different innovative ways of raising the revenue to address this
Let's all
challenge,
ask ourselves,
so that we can enjoy
what innovative measure do we have to take in order to address the issue of recurring debt in the energy sector?
The world is going digital now, but you came and you cancelled digital taxation e-levy.
Please, e-levy was introduced at a time when all of us knew. It wasn't a matter of the introduction of the tax which was a problem. The argument we made, I was in the minority at that time, and Akosia said we descended into fisticuffs, yes, because they were failing to realize the realities of the time, that already there were heaped of taxes on Ghanaians which had made life unbearable for Ghanaians. Ghanaians were suffering under that time. Ghanaians were burdened, scorching under the taxes of the then government. So we're advising that that was not the right time to introduce more taxes on the ordinary. And the e-levy, according to the then economic whiskey, that affects the poor people, the ordinary people. So he wouldn't support e-levy. But he was the one who came to sit in parliament to clap for Ken when he introduced e-levy. So it was not just a matter, all of us realized that e-levy was going to make things difficult for the already ordinary people who were burdened by the numerous taxes that have been bestowed on them. So it is the opportune time that we are looking at. If things were good at that time, everybody was okay, people were enjoying, who will complain about taxes? But we are saying today that all of us as a country have realized that the way we are managing the energy sector is not sustainable. And if we are not careful, we shall run into difficulties that all of us will feel uncomfortable with. So at this time when we are happy, we are reaping the benefits of the measures that the government has introduced that have made the economy a bit more relaxed as compared to 6 months before. It is time when we need to make sacrifices. We're asking Ghanaians to make sacrifices so that all of us will be able to hold the danger that is imminent. So we'll be able to face the challenges when they occur, that we'll be able to save for tomorrow. It is not a matter of somebody interested in slapping a tax on. We're asking people to make sacrifice, all of us to make sacrifice, all of us to pay for something for tomorrow. Because you and I agree that government cannot continue heaping up debt after debt in the energy sector alone. Government revenue, as all of us are talking about, is also supposed to take care of other sectors. So we cannot allow the energy sector alone to be taking all the benefits of government's measures and policies that are accruing to all of us. What about education? What about agriculture? What about health? What about other sectors of the economy? So what we are saying is that if there is a problem generated by the energy sector, why don't all of us contribute to resolve that problem? We can hold that problem so that the government can use its revenue to develop the other sectors of the economy. That is why this issue is not just about a tax that is going to affect almost what we are saying. It is a tax that is coming from the energy sector to address the energy sector problem. So the hue and cry about this is let me say, makes me feel as if people know the problem, but they don't want to contribute to the solution of the problem. All of us know the problem. All of us as a country know the problem. And if we don't want to be political about this and we want to resolve the problem as statesmen, then what do we do? Do we all accept the decision to say, let's contribute something for tomorrow's difficulty? This is all that we are asking for. And it's amazing. People who yesterday saw the problem, they were not bold enough to confront the problem, will stand today and be talking and be telling people that the government is deceiving them. Where is the deception?
They promised no new taxes.
New taxes to do what?
That's what the
What is this
finance
tax?
minister said
What is this meant for? What is this meant for?
We've told the energy sector.
Where do we generate the revenue to meet this debt from the energy sector?
But we knew this before making the promise of not introducing a new tax.
We made what? Ato said he's not introducing any new tax.
Right.
That will for revenue. What he's saying that this one is meant to resolve a problem that we have created ourselves. Because if we don't do this, realistically, what we are saying is that we must pay 50% more for electricity. You understand? Would you want to pay 50% more for electricity, or you want to contribute to one city so that cumulatively we can resolve the problem instead of shifting to the pricing of electricity?
So it's either tariffs or taxes.
Yes. And we thought that there is a need for us to have this tax to generate the revenue to meet the demand so that we don't increase the tariff. This is what we are asking for. This simple mathematics, I think that is the dribbling that have been used to score the goal that is worrying people like Akosia, because they couldn't find the skill to go through this. This is the moment.
The cumulative
This is the moment.
You are increasing tariffs.
No.
You are exempting state institutions from paying bills. ECG is running, I don't know how to put it, at losses around 32%.
But those ones are systemic. Those are systemic inefficiencies that have to be addressed. But we are looking at tomorrow. What do we do to forestall the danger we are all seeing tomorrow? You understand? And we say, look, let's prepare for tomorrow. But then let's continue, because the systemic difficulties, challenges we are having is not an event. It's a whole policy direction that will steer the ECG towards good management style, that will steer the ECG from distribution losses and other challenges that they have faced in the past.
Very well.
But this is an eminent challenge of doom CSA, or whatever you call it, if we are not able to raise the needed revenue to fund liquid fuel for the power generation. So it is important that we look at it from that. Is it the danger we are resolving, or somebody being enthusiastic in just maximizing revenue?
Very well.